John Travolta breaks silence about his new love. John Travolta is a famous star in Hollywood and one of the best artists working today. But that doesn't mean he's not hiding anything. There have been good times and bad times in Travolta's life. We'll talk about his time with the Scientology group and his many relationships. His personal life has been the subject of many news stories, and he's been in so many relationships that it's hard to keep track of who he's with now. Today, John Travolta came out to clear the air. There's no longer any question or rumor. What he said was interesting. Dear Olivia, John Travolta was speechless when he learned that his close friend Olivia Newton-John had died after a long on-and-off fight with breast cancer. This was after he'd been through a lot of heartache in his personal life. Soon after hearing the sad news, the star posted an old picture of himself and Olivia on social media with the words, "My dearest Olivia, you made all of our lives so much better. Your influence was huge. I love you. We'll see you later, and then we'll all be back together. From the first time I saw you, I will always be yours. Take care of Danny and John." Lost Kirsty. As sad as he was to lose his Grease co-star, John Travolta was even more upset when he heard that Kirsty Aly had died at the age of 71. The Cheers star was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in May 2022 and lost her battle a few months later. Travolta and Aly had starred together in the Look Who's Talking movie franchise in the 1980s, and for many, they were one of the iconic friends. Bubble Boy. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, a 1976 TV movie starring John Travolta, was Travolta's big break. Travolta played Tom, a boy whose immune system isn't fully developed, so his life is controlled to keep him from getting sick because his body wouldn't be able to fight them off. Todd, eager for experience, has to walk around covered in huge plastic bubble. As he starts to explore his surroundings, he falls in love with G. Kelly Love. Diana Highland and John Travolta were an odd couple, but they were a perfect match for each other. They met on the set of The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, where they portrayed mother and son, which made them an odd couple. Their love wouldn't last, though, as Highland was diagnosed with breast cancer and died in Travolta's arms at the age of 41. Pilot for him. Travolta likes both acting and flying. He's an experienced pilot and recently got his formal pilot's license, which lets him operate private aircraft. Because of this interest, he bought his fleet of 5 aircraft, which includes a Boeing 707, that he uses to fly his family and friends across the country and to faraway exotic places. Travolta is so passionate about aircraft that he built a house for his family in. Worth or value. Travolta's long and successful career has made him rich and famous. His net worth is now thought to be $170 million. The star of Grease and Hairspray is one of Hollywood's highest paid performers, and with hits like Saturday Night Fever, the royalties just keep coming in. With this much money, it's not surprising that he can buy expensive mansions and planes to add to his already impressive collection. Admit dancing. In 1977's hit movie, Saturday Night Fever, Travolta wowed audiences with both his acting and dancing skills. Travolta had natural talent, but he had to work hard to hone it and become a lethal dancer. Travolta spent 9 months at a dance school getting in shape for his role. He wanted to incorporate elements from the movie Soul Train into his dance. At the time, Travolta told Vanity Fair magazine that he liked black dancing to white dancing. Love never ends. John Travolta met Kelly Preston on the set of The Experts in 1987. Things were going well, but Kelly was already married. Their relationship took off when they met again in Vancouver in 1990 while working on different film projects, and they decided to give it another chance. Kelly filed for divorce from her husband, and once the divorce was finalized, they got engaged. They'd planned to get married in New York, but when things got hard, they changed their minds. Family Matter. Helen, John's mother, had a successful acting career, which influenced John's choice of career. As a child, John saw his mother act and dance in movies and on stage. John was a triple threat because he could act, dance, and sing, which he learned while going to theater school in New York. The mother-son duo appeared in both Grease and Saturday Night Fever, showing these skills. Clooney and Kelly. Kelly Preston had a complicated love life before she met John Travolta. When they met again in Vancouver, Kelly was married to Kevin Gage. The couple had a big, expensive wedding in Hawaii, but their marriage had only been together for 2 years when it started to fall apart. From 1987 to 1989, Kelly Preston was linked to handsome actor George Clooney. Clooney gave Preston a pet pig named Max as a gift, which confirmed rumors of a strong connection. Preston was allowed to keep the pig. Married twice. When Travolta and Preston agreed to get married, things were not going smoothly at first. They thought that the planning for the wedding was getting out of hand, so they flew to Paris in 1991 for a simple ceremony. A Scientology minister officiated the wedding, but when the happy couple got home, they found out that the union was not legally binding. They quickly planned another legal ceremony, which took place on Daytona Beach in Florida. Tragic family. Jet Travolta, son of Kelly and John Travolta, died in a tragic accident on January 2, 2009. Michael and John were on vacation when their family at the Old Bahama Bay Hotel in the Bahamas, which was their home away from home. Jet, their 16-year-old son, died after hitting his head on the bathtub and having a seizure. He died suddenly, leaving his family, especially Jet's sister Ella, upset and grieving. A kid. Helen and John, mother and son, were very close because they both loved the performing arts. Salvatore Travolta, the family patriarch, was Italian-American and came to the United States with his ancestors. As a second-generation immigrant, Salvatore saw the potential of the American dream and followed his passion for football. He played semi-professional football before deciding to look for something more stable. Salvatore quit sports and started working as an accountant. About himself. Kelly and John are both used to being in the spotlight, and there were times when they felt it was important for people to hear them. They chose to talk about the amazing weekend they spent at Demi Moore and Bruce Willis's house in 1996, where they think they had their beloved son Jet. They had no idea that Jet would leave them in just a few years. Things haven't always been easy for the Travoltas, and they've publicly admitted to getting help. Best friend. Over the years, John Travolta and Oprah Winfrey have become close friends. Winfrey said that Travolta is her favorite movie star, and Travolta often chooses to be on Oprah's show over other TV shows. In 2010, on the first episode of the last season of her talk show, Oprah gave the audience an all-expenses-paid 8-day trip to Australia. As if that wasn't enough, John Travolta offered to fly the audience to their destination. Charlie and Kelly. Kelly Preston was married before she got engaged to Charlie Sheen in 1990. Sheen proposed with a 2.5-carat diamond engagement ring. The relationship ended because of a pistol accident, which Kelly wrote about in her autobiography. Charlie was carrying a gun and kept it in his pocket. Kelly was trying to clean up and move the pants when the revolver went off and hit her in the arm. They agreed to sell the engagement ring. Romantic mischief. In 2014, Douglas Gotterba, a former pilot who had sex with John Travolta, told the National Enquirer that he'd been seeing Travolta sexually for 6 years. Gotterba broke his silence in an interview with the newspaper. The Travolta family called the claims ridiculous. When the charge was made, Gotterba said that he wasn't breaking any non-disclosure agreements and that the family didn't know about the relationship. Kirsten and John. Kirsty Aly and John Travolta were close friends. They met in the hit movie Look Who's Talking, and then again in the follow-up Look Who's Talking Now. They found that they shared many interests, including a love of Scientology. Aly took years to get over her love for Travolta, which is strange since she was married to Parker Stevenson when they met, even though she told Barbara Walters that Travolta was the love of her life. Get married. 25 years of marriage takes a lot of hard work and devotion. John and Kelly told Closer Weekly what they do to keep things going. The main idea is that they care about each other and have a loving relationship. They also said they both felt the need to protect each other. Most married couples would also tell you to keep things interesting and try new things together so you can continue to grow as a couple. After tragedy. As normal as life can be if your father is one of Hollywood's highest paid actors, their lives were fine until Jet Travolta died tragically from a seizure at the age 16. Jet had an 8-year-old sister when her older brother died in a horrible circumstance. A few days after Jet's death, the Travoltas released a statement saying, "Jet was the most wonderful son that two parents could have ever had." Love romance. Anyone who knows Travolta well knows he was happy with his long-term wife, Kelly Preston, and their 3 children. However, many people have complained that he made unwanted romantic advances towards them, making it hard to ignore his condition. Travolta's tired of these claims. In an interview with the Daily Beast, he was quoted as saying, "I found it most offensive with the loss of my son." Moving on. The work of Travolta has been long and good, but we don't know what's next for him. When Netflix takes over, he might make more shows like the People vs. O.J. Simpson American Crime Story. Maybe he's done with big-budget movies like Saturday Night Fever, Grease, and Pulp Fiction. He might decide that it's time to focus on his family and his love of flying. One thing we do know is that Travolta works hard at anything he sets his mind to until he gets good at it. We all promised him new stage and movie roles, so now we're all waiting to see what he does next. Kelly's death. After going through so many hard times and personal tragedies together for so many years, it looked like nothing could separate the two Travoltas. In other situations, though, a couple can't do much against a stronger force. Kelly was sadly told she had breast cancer in 2018, but her family didn't tell anyone about the news. After going to therapy for 2 years, she died at the age of 57. John told everyone about her death in a sad Instagram post, praising her strength and the love she got during her hard battle. She was first love. Getting hot. As you might expect, the star from Lonely Hearts has been very quiet since the terrible death of his wife. He hasn't been officially linked to anyone in a personal, popular, or other way. Travolta's still sad about the death of his wife and the mother of his children. "I learned that mourning someone and dealing with grief is something very personal," he shared. Touching tribute. John Travolta had the pleasure of starting the In Memoriam part of the 2023 Academy Awards. He did this by giving respect to the stars and entertainers who had died in the previous year. To be fair, Travolta was upset when he introduced the piece. He had recently lost 2 famous co-stars, Olivia Newton-John from Grease and Kirsty Aly from Look Who's Talking. He even used one of Olivia's hits from Grease to describe them. "They've touched our hearts, made us smile, and become dear friends who we will always remain hopelessly devoted to." Travolta's on the road. Even though the Travoltas have been through a lot in the past few years, they still find time to have fun and live their lives. During the summer of 2023, John shared some videos from what seemed like a cool trip to Japan on social media. Lots of footage in the video showed John, his kids, Ella and Benjamin, and other family friends having a great time. They were able to see many of Japan's well-known sights while they were there. You could also see them eating some of Japan's best food. The Travoltas know how to get around.